have no clue what you're doing. What is that?
Oh, do I not have a clue what I'm doing? Then how did I make that happen?
I don't know if I can hear it.
Yeah, funky music, funky royalty-free music that came free with this mixer thing.
The music came with the mixer?
Yeah, that's the preloaded song it had on there. I didn't get my own song.
Hey, no, don't get your own song.
You expect me to get my own song? Hey, welcome to the Little Victorian Boy podcast. How's it going, everybody? My name's Little Victorian Boy. You are in the right place. I'm going to turn the music down, and we're going to stop that because we are in the studio today. This is very exciting. I'm here with my good friend, Karalynn Dunton. Karalynn, say hi to the people.
Hi to the people.
You don't have to be afraid of the people.
I'm a little nervous.
You're a little nervous?
Yeah.
Well, the children, I didn't mean to hit that one, but the children are happy to see you.
I'm so glad
the
I forgot
adults are very sympathetic
Stop,
towards you
you
being a
guys.
little bit scared of them.
Oh,
they want
no.
you to feel comfortable because they like you. They don't like me.
Oh, yeah. Actually, a lot of people
Yeah.
text me that regularly.
Yeah, right. Okay. So Kara, welcome to the podcast. As you know, we got some buttons. We can press buttons. It makes sounds happen, but that's not really what this podcast is about.
But I'm so impressed with the buttons, and I'm a little distracted by it. And I think I'd prefer, instead of doing the podcast, to just do more buttons.
What if we change this entire podcast to just be Buttons, the podcast? And
I'd love that so much more than
it's
the
just a
bullshit
million
you're
buttons,
doing.
and each button
Yeah.
does something different.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would probably do really well. I think that would do really well with children. That could be a whole children's program. I could make millions of dollars off of that.
Should we switch career paths and
I think
start
we should
doing
switch
buttons for
career
kids?
paths. Oh, I went to Jumbo's Clown Room with our friends Austin, Sid, and Olivia.
Yeah, he's bragging now about a hangout I couldn't go to.
Yeah, and Jumbo's, for people that don't know, it's not really a strip club. It's like a bar that does like
Burlesque.
strip burlesque.
Yeah.
Like nobody's fully naked, but it is like
There's a pole, and you can throw
there's
money.
a stripper pole, and you should be throwing money.
Yes.
And there was a lot of money thrown. We were throwing a lot of money. A lot of it was Austin. Austin was like, he's like, bankroll. I want to have a good time. And he's friends with some of the people that were
So Austin
performing.
was giving everyone money to throw?
Yeah, he gave us some money. I mean, I gave him some money for the money, and I bought him a drink. But he like got some money for us to throw because he wanted everybody to feel like having a good time. Because he's a very generous person. Austin's always buying stuff for people. He's very generous in that way.
Yeah, he's bought me a lot of expensive gifts.
Yeah. And so we were throwing money, we were having a good time. And that was something that we kept saying, is that we're in the wrong business.
Oh,
because
okay.
they were making so much money, and we're like, well, we don't make
any money.
We don't make any
I'm
money.
really not making any money at all.
And I thought there should be live comedy shows where people treat comedians like strippers and throw money at them if they think a joke is funny.
I'm in.
Yeah. I don't know. That sounds like a pretty good idea.
My Venmo is some version of my name.
Okay, well, put in any version of Karalynn
hold
Dunton's
on.
name in Venmo and send money to it.
Just send money. It doesn't matter if there
And
are 50
it
accounts.
might be her, or it might be just some other person that'll be like, oh, thanks.
Yeah, and would you do me a favor? Would you don't go on Venmo right now and make a fake Karalynn Dunton account to try to get that money, because I'm not making any.
You know what I don't like about Venmo is anytime I look up like a friend's name who's in my contacts, even someone who I've Venmo'd before, I'll like type their name and it'll send me it'll like bring up like 50 people that are just total strangers from random parts of the country. I'm like, you know who I'm looking for.
Yeah.
They have terrible search functions. Maybe I just don't know how to use it correctly.
No, I would agree. Either that, or I also don't know how to use it.
Yeah.
Which is also
It's
very
also
possible.
Yeah.
Oof.
We're getting to that age where we don't know how to use things.
Yeah, someone on Instagram recently created like a favorited share file, which I didn't know you could do, where you could favorite videos and have a group shared favorite videos.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't either, but it's real. And I was like, well, how am I supposed to access this video? And the person was like, I thought you worked in social media. And I was like,
Yeah, people assume that we know.
No,
I
don't know
don't.
anything.
No.
Nothing at all.
I'm bad at social media. I don't really enjoy it.
I hate being on the internet
Yeah,
more than anything.
but I'm on it all the time.
I can't get away from my phone. My favorite activity is looking at my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think most people's is. And here's the thing. a recent story that I posted. I rarely post stories on my Instagram, but a recent story I posted got a lot of traction. And it got a lot of traction, and you were asking questions about it. I said, let's save it for the podcast.
I have so many questions.
Here's the thing. A man fell through my ceiling.
And here's the thing. I'm driving my vehicle. I'm driving my car, and I have my phone up here, and there's like another guy's in my car, and I get a text on a group thread. Mm-hmm. And it's just a picture of Colin's kitchen with a hole in the ceiling.
Yeah.
And just the ground covered with ceiling.
Ground covered in ceiling. Yeah. A man fell through my kitchen ceiling this week. And that's not a bit. That's a real thing that happened. Here's the story behind it. So like 3 or 4 days ago, like last week, I started hearing this scratching.
Yeah.
This scritching and scratching by my bed. It sounded like it was coming from inside the wall right behind my bed.
Which is like a comforting sound.
It's a comforting sound to know something's alive in your wall.
Yeah, when I go to bed, I type in scratching inside the wall ASMR. And that's how I fall asleep, because it makes me feel like I'm not alone and I'm being protected.
Oh, that's nice. For me, it's the opposite.
Oh,
boy, does the sound of a scratching animal inside your wall keep me up.
It's weird.
And then I was listening to the wall and I realized, no, I think it might be coming from the ceiling itself. And I was like, okay, I've seen squirrels congregate around my windows and peer in, looking in, wanting to be a part of my life.
Like really sentient business here.
Yes, yeah. The squirrels know they want to be involved. They want to be inside. And so I thought, I bet there's squirrels that have nested up in the ceiling somehow, or gotten into the ceiling, into the attic. I didn't realize there's like a full attic above my apartment. So I text the building manager about that. They bring a pest control person out. This pest control person came on Wednesday. I didn't know they were here. I went to the climbing gym and was climbing, having a great day. And then I get a text from my building manager who lives right below me. And he said, hey, the pest control guy was here. He found the problem. They're just like access holes that the squirrels were getting in. But his foot slipped through your ceiling. He said his foot slipped through the ceiling, and he'll come back on Friday and fix that. And I was like, what? That's crazy. His foot went through my ceiling? That's not good. And
it's also so inaccurate.
It's incredibly inaccurate about what he's fully lying at this point. The building manager says, yeah, I didn't want to go into your apartment because you weren't home. So when you get home, I will help clean it up and we'll try to, fix this. I'm so sorry. And I go, well, thanks. I have a good relationship with my building manager. He's a nice guy. He's 73, lives downstairs. Very friendly. And I'm like, all right, thanks, Robert. I'll get home and see what the damage is. I get home from climbing, expecting to see a foot-sized hole in my ceiling. And I open the kitchen door, and what I find, I'll pull up the photo so the visual is there for people watching this. But if you're listening, it was like a 3-foot by 4-foot section of my ceiling had come crashing down into my kitchen.
Well, it also, you don't have a huge kitchen.
No.
So it's the whole ceiling.
It's basically the whole ceiling of my kitchen came down, and it landed on the stove and on the fridge and on my counters, and this man's whole body went through my ceiling. There's no foot is that large. His whole body fell through my ceiling. He bonked into my fridge most likely because the freezer door he just left open. He just left that open. And the fridge door was definitely popped open at some point during this process because both fridge and freezer full of ceiling, just full of debris and ceiling. So all my food that wasn't sealed, gone. I had to pitch that. And I think he used the fridge to climb back up the hole. This man, and then he had the gall, he had the audacity to come back down and say, yeah, my foot slipped through the ceiling. I'll come back in 2 days and come patch that up. He demolished my kitchen. It took. I got the building manager came up the stairs. He said, "Hey, it's hey Colin, is it bad?" And I go, "Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, it's pretty bad." And the building manager comes in. He goes, "Oh my God!" He said his foot went through.
It's like, no, a man fell through the ceiling and then climbed back up.
Climbed back
the hole,
up.
which I still don't believe.
He had to have, because my doors were locked. So, like, he didn't go out the door. And
Oh my.
and so I spent like 3 hours with my property manager sweeping up and cleaning all the debris out of my kitchen. I had to toss a bunch of food. I had to clean out my entire fridge inside and out, my entire stove, pull the stove and the fridge out, and clean that up.
Here's my question. Yeah. How much food is in your fridge just uncovered?
Not a lot, but I have a lot of like veggies and produce that aren't like sealed.
I was like,
or things that are in like bags that are like I have things that are like frozen food that I opened, but I didn't eat everything of the frozen food, but the bag was open. So like,
and you just leave open bags in your freezer, just wide open.
It's like a little open. It's a little open.
It's like a whole bag of open pizza rolls.
It's not just like sitting
just like a bunch of, like, here are my pizza rolls.
Okay.
He's got like a drawer full of Totino's pizza rolls as if it were an ice tray.
Look, that's normal. You have the ice tray. Those are 4 pizza rolls. You put 1 pizza roll in each one.
No, that's not what an ice tray is for.
And you have little pizza roll popsicles.
I hate this.
That's good. I
hope you're not doing that.
No, I don't do that. But I do have some food that is like in packaging that is like not fully sealed. And I just didn't feel safe given that there was so much sealing just filtering in.
Well, my favorite part
Try not to eat sealing. I'm trying not to eat sealing this year. It was a New Year's resolution.
And I get that because I know how much of a problem that was for you last year.
It's good. It's addictive.
I had to stop inviting Colin over to my house because you were always trying to eat through my ceiling. Here's my thing about this whole situation. Mm-hmm. We had a pretty important Zoom meeting that day.
Yeah.
And the thing that I couldn't stop thinking about was, what if that had happened in the middle of our Zoom meeting?
It could have fully happened in the middle of that Zoom meeting. We missed it by maybe an hour and a half.
And I know in some different timeline, there's a version of that where like that meeting took place at 12:30 instead of 11, where Colin's just sitting at home. We hear a crash and then like a guy just walks out.
Just a man falling through my ceiling.
And I assume that he was wearing a squirrel costume.
That's not what he was wearing.
I'm sure he was wearing a squirrel costume. I'm so sure of this.
This isn't like the Dumb and Dumber where you wear a costume like the dog van.
Well, because here's the thing.
Pest control people don't wear the costume of the animal they kill.
Do pest controls kill squirrels?
They can probably. I bet the problem... I don't think they're going to kill the squirrels. I think they're probably just going to seal up the holes to keep the squirrels out. You called a man
to kill squirrels in your building?
Get them out of my attic. That's what I called them for. I don't know how they're going to do it. It might be death.
And then there's a 200 man dressed up as a squirrel falling through your ceiling.
I mean, maybe the squirrels sabotage this guy. It's kind of a Looney Tunes situation as is.
It feels really suspicious.
Yeah.
Especially since you're sure that the guy just crawled back up this.
I'm 100% sure the man crawled back up the ceiling. And to be fair, my fridge, not that far, like the top of the fridge, not that far from the ceiling to the point that it would be difficult if he was standing on the fridge.
Okay, but did you check the top of this fridge and was there like a giant squirrel footprint? Because how do you know it wasn't just like a giant squirrel?
There was a pile of ceiling on the fridge. Does that help?
I want footprints.
No,
I want footprints.
There were no big squirrel footprints.
And no human shoes either. So
yeah,
I think that really leaves it up to you.
But the good news is, building manager, he was like, we're not waiting for this pest control company to fix this ceiling. One, they don't know how to do that anyway. They're a pest control company, not drywall and painting. So he got his girl Vicky over here She's does all the painting and drywall for the apartments. She came in next morning, patched it up in a few hours.
Because now it's totally fixed.
Totally fixed. Looks brand new. You can walk back there. You see it's fine ceiling. Perfectly fine ceiling. Good job, Vicky.
And you want me to believe a giant squirrel fell through your ceiling? Because now it kind of seems like you made the whole thing up. And I know there's a picture.
There's tons. I documented tons of photos of that. Yeah.
AI can do amazing work.
AI can't do that. AI can't do ceiling holes.
So you'd rather me believe
it's one of the things. It can't do hands. It can't do ceiling holes.
That a big man.
It can't do hands. It can't do ceiling holes.
Dressed as a squirrel fell through your ceiling and then just crawled.
AI could do that. AI could do that. AI can't do ceiling holes. I'm sorry. And thank God it can't, because that's where most of the money is.
There's a lot of money.
A lot of money in ceiling holes.
Vicky is rolling in it.
She is. She did she should be. She should be. She did a fantastic job. I can't speak high enough about her ability to patch a ceiling hole.
Women
Fantastic
can do
job.
anything.
They do. And here's the thing. I trust a woman to patch my ceiling more than I was happy that it was a woman and not a male contractor, because
he probably would have just fell through.
He probably would have fallen through the goddamn ceiling just like the first guy.
He would have patched himself up into the ceiling and been like, what do I do? Fallen through again. Yeah. And just crawled back up and hid.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I'm sure that's what that guy did. I bet he's still up there.
There's a terrible joke about women not being able to break through ceilings there, but I'm not gonna.
Oh no!
There's something in there.
It's not made of glass, is it?
Yeah, there's something to that effect. There. There's something there. We won't get into it, and I won't get into it. Kara, speaking of glass, you are as well as things dropping in dramatic fashion. Something about you that I want to share with the world, because this is a fact about Karalynn Dunton. This is a new segment called Facts About Karalynn Dunton.
And nobody cares. And it's weird that you do this segment with other guests.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? So, fact about Karalynn Dunton. Karalynn is incredibly talented, a great writer, great comedian, fantastic actor, good at video editing as well. But there is a talent that Karalynn has many people don't know, and that is that Karalynn Dunton is incredibly good at claw machines.
And that's real. That's not a bit.
No, I'm not doing a bit.
Like, my number one skill is probably claw machines, and everything else comes after.
Yeah. The first time you told me you were good at claw machines, we were near a claw machine, and I thought, no one's good at claw machines. Those are a scam to steal money from children. Those aren't something you can get good at. And then you proved me wrong instantly by putting $1 in a claw machine.
Just $1.
And proceeding to nail it and win a little blue duck, which you gave me. I still have.
I'm also like a very giving person.
Very giving person. Also, you have plenty of stuffed animals already in your home. You don't need any more.
Stuffed animals in my house that I just won from claw machines.
Yeah.
And you know what my dream is? My dream is to have a claw machine in my house that I fill with only things that I won from other claw machines. Have my friends come over and play for free, but if you win, you have to take it with you.
Oh.
That's like the big dream for me. When I've got claw machine money and I can buy a claw machine that is like good enough to just have as the
That's
going to
be a fantastic moment for your MTV Cribs episode.
Yeah, and because they're still making that, right?
They got to.
They have to be.
They legally have to keep making that.
Yeah, they're legally contracted to never stop making MTV Cribs. Never stop
making that. Yeah, I mean, when that ends, then we know society is fully gone.
That's what. Because there's only like
end of the Roman Empire.
3 things that will outlast like a nuclear war. It's cockroaches, Twinkies, and MTV Cribs.
MTV's Cribs. We love it. So when you're taking a tour through Karalynn Dunton's apartment during MTV Cribs, you will find a giant claw machine that all her friends can come play, and they have to take the stuffed animal home. And it's not really a gift for friends. It's more you finding a way to offload the stuffed animals that you want to go then win from other claw machines, correct?
It's like when you have too many clothes and you're like, okay, if I buy another t-shirt, I should get rid of one.
Yeah.
It's like I can't keep playing claw machines because I have too many toys from them.
Yeah.
And I have a dog and she plays with toys, but a lot of the claw machine toys aren't necessarily dog safe. So I just have all these stuffed animals and I look like a sicko when you come over. I look like a sick freak.
An adult with lots of children's toys.
It's like a bad look, especially since some of them are Hello Kitty.
Yeah. I once stayed at an Airbnb in the early days of Airbnb, and it was one of those ones where it's like I'm in a room of some guy's apartment. It was like really cheap.
Yeah.
And they're living, and I'm just crashing in this weird little guest room, and it was decorated with nothing but like Mickey and Minnie Mouse stuffed animals everywhere. And I was like, okay. Didn't see that on the photos.
I really feel like you buried the lead here.
And he was fine. To be honest, he was fine. He was a perfectly nice person and had no problems. I didn't get murdered. I definitely locked the door, though, when I went to bed.
Well, here's my question. Is there a type of like stuffed animal or doll that could be in that situation that wouldn't completely creep you out?
A type of stuffed animal, I think anything in large quantities is creepy.
It's just creepy.
Yeah, any collecting itself is creepy. And you're going to disagree because you collect all kinds of things.
I collect Buster Posey Funko Pops.
You have like 50 Buster Posey Funko Pops.
I have 65.
Okay, you have 65 Buster
But I also have the prototype, and I have 4 cream colored jerseys, and the rest are gray colored jerseys.
Yeah, because you're a big Giants fan, and you love Buster Posey, and you bought all these Buster Posey Funko Pops off of eBay as a bit, but it's not really a bit because you have them on a display in your living room for the entire time I've known you.
Yeah.
They're all there. It's like really the most prominent decoration in your home. And you also keep there's so many of them, but you know when one has been moved. Yeah. Because you accused me of stealing one time, which it wasn't me.
I was looking at all of my Buster Posey Funko Pops because I do have like 65. And it's an interesting bit because nobody comes over.
Yeah.
So who is this for? I don't know. And the joke is when people come over, they're like, why do you have so many of these? And I say, I collect. And then I just watch people realize that they're all the same.
Crazy.
No, this is
you're a
normal.
crazy person who's going to murder them.
Because when you collect something,
you're going to murder them and turn them into a Funko Pop of Buster Posey. I've seen it 1,000 times, Kara.
You've seen it at least 65 times. But there was one day where I looked over and one of the boxes was empty. And I was like, man, that's a funny prank. I bet one of my friends just took one Buster Posey out of the thing and then just put the box back. And so I started asking my friends, like, who are the last...
You started accusing your friends.
I was like, who did this? And no one fessed up. And I'm thinking maybe he got out somehow. And he just decided to...
Buster came to life.
Yeah, like a little baby Buster animated himself and ran off. It's probably one of those souls that I cursed. But honestly, I'm happy for him. I hope he's making his way out there somewhere.
I mean, he's a professional baseball player. I think he'll do fine.
Yeah, he's got a couple of the rings, if you know what I mean.
Got a couple of the rings.
Got a couple of the rings.
If you know what I mean.
If you know what I mean.
Kara, here's a question. If eggs are nature's raviolis, why are they so goddamn expensive?
That's a good question, and I'm glad you came to me about this because my therapist at one point did tell me that the amount of hard-boiled eggs I was eating was a version of self-harm. So I am like a bit of an expert about this.
Yes.
Ravioli, you can't beat that.
You know? Can't beat that.
And ravioli, as we all know, are naturally occurring in the wild.
As eggs.
Because
all chickens are Italian.
Yeah, which a lot of people don't actually know that chickens originated in Italy. Mm-hmm. And that's why they have like little Italian mustaches and they're all being like a buca di beppo, you know?
Yeah.
Hey,
cool it with the racism, please.
I'm so sorry.
Come on to my podcast and come out here and be racist towards a group that has just had enough
I deserve this.
They've had enough of this.
This is going to keep going. Oh,
No,
it's
it'll
not.
stop.
Okay. Everybody got over it.
No, I was thinking about eggs. I made some eggs. I made some eggs.
Are you like yourself?
And here's the thing.
Did you lay an egg?
No. I bought them, and I made some eggs, and I was looking at them, and I thought to myself, these are nature's raviolis, are they not?
You're doing pretty well if you can afford eggs right now.
Here's the egg hack. Go to Trader Joe's. Their eggs are half what they are at any other grocery store. They often don't have any because they get bought up. But if you go early, you can get a whole carton for about $4, which is a pretty damn good deal.
That's a great deal.
Yeah, because it's usually like $8.
Okay, sorry. I thought you were like eggs. Making money.
No.
And I was like, where are you getting that from?
No.
Like, what is Colin's secret?
And currently
job?
now, my fridge, not full of eggs. It's full of ceiling.
It's full of ceiling.
I got the ceiling out. out.
Methinks the lady doth protest too much.
But I was just curious if you had any thoughts on whether eggs are nature's ravioli, and then if so, why they goddamn so expensive.
Yeah, I would say they're probably expensive because of the highly they're
highly anticipated.
People are anticipating them like way too much, and they're shy.
Yeah,
they're really shy.
Okay,
and when you really want something, it's like no.
It's the eggs moment.
Yeah.
They are finally getting appreciated in a way, because people used to be like, well, this is just a cheap egg. I'll throw them at a car. I'll throw them at a person I don't like.
Yeah.
This is nothing to me. Eggs in the morning, 2, 3 egg omelets. I don't care. I'll bake with them. And now that they're finally expensive, we're like, eggs are actually great.
Yeah. It's kind of like when you're dating someone new, and if you act too excited, the person's going to be like, oh, ew. But if you're like a little aloof, then all of a sudden it's like, knock, knock, knock. Are you home? I miss you. And that's like what eggs are kind of going through right now.
Eggs are having a glow up. They finally know their value, and we're paying the price because we underappreciated eggs for far too long.
Paying that price.
We're paying it.
People are fighting at Costco.
People are fighting at Costco.
With their fists.
I bet they're fighting at Trader Joe's. That's why you got to go early.
You got to go. And I never wake up early enough. I've never seen the doors open at Trader Joe's first thing in the morning.
I haven't, but I've heard it's beautiful.
I heard it's absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, there's some things you have to see before you die.
And one of them is
the doors opening at a Trader Joe's
first thing in the morning.
First thing in the morning.
It's a once in a lifetime experience that happens 365 days a year.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no one's ever up that early.
Nobody's ever up that early. To see them.
Oh my God.
The first person to walk through, smell those flowers. They always have the flowers up front, don't they?
That man on a spring morning with there's dew.
Oh, dew is everywhere.
Early morning dew.
That's one of the problems I have with Trader Joe's is it's too dewy sometimes.
It's too dewy.
Sometimes you're like, everything's wet.
And that's why I like to go in the afternoon when it's dried off a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I can't stand like a dewy freezer aisle. I can't stand a dewy freezer aisle.
Yeah. It's dewy cookie butter.
Ugh.
Some dew on that cookie butter.
Wet.
And it's got a thickness to it, the dew. The Trader Joe's dew.
Yeah, it's almost slimy.
It's
like a snail slime.
Like a snail slime.
Yeah.
Like the whole Trader Joe's is covered in snails in the middle of the night, which it might be. I
would believe that.
Yeah, maybe that's how they get the keep the prices so low.
And I was thinking about this earlier.
Snail workers.
I feel like that's something that makes that like first morning doors open. Because I bet if you get there early enough, you still could maybe see one of the elusive Trader Joe's snails. Yeah, as they like.
Scurry. They don't scurry. Snails don't scurry.
They just really like.
What are they? What would you call that? It's not a slither.
It's like a. Just like a. I almost said slither, but it's because it was. Because it was in your. Yeah, because it's very similar to slither, and it should sound like that. I don't even know if we have to have a word for how a snail moves. So like a slimy slither. It's like a. Slimy sand. Quicksand.
What about splunch?
I would say spludge.
Spludge?
Yeah.
I said splunch, but spludge is good too.
Yeah, well, because when I think of a snail, I'm like, those guys are really spludging around.
Spludge.
Spludge.
Who says you can't invent words? Nobody. Shakespeare did it all the time, and look at that guy. He was the best. They say. They say.
Yeah.
But how good could he be? He didn't come up with a word like spludge.
Honestly, where is my...
Watch someone find some hidden folio, and Shakespeare did come
like,
up with spludge.
And there from within he spludged.
Oh, yeah. It would have some double entendre.
Some double entendre. Shakespeare thinks he's better than me.
He thinks he's better than us. He's not. He's
he's
dead. We're alive. Yeah. We're living. Where are you? Dead?
Oh, suck it,
Haven't written anything good in
years.
Hundreds of years.
Yeah.
Jeez.
What an idiot.
Jeez. Kara, it's time to do an ad read. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do one, and then if you want to do one, you can do one too. Nobody actually sponsors this podcast. If you want to, reach out. But I'm gonna
feel free. Just Venmo a name that looks like mine.
Yeah.
You will get nothing in return.
Okay. This is our some ad music here. Perfect. Little Victorian Boy podcast is brought to you by lizards. Lizards, you like them. You like those guys. They got long heads. They got long, round heads and long bodies. Legs, feet, lizards. We're not talking about fish here, folks. These aren't fish. They don't have flippers and fins. They got legs and arms because they on land. They on land and they got tail. Not like fishtail. Don't talk to me about fishtail. These are lizards we're talking about. When scared, lizards lose tail, but it grows back. It grows back just like America's gonna grow back. I don't know. Maybe we won't. But you know what will? Lizard. Get yourself a lizard today because you don't know what you're missing, okay? It's not a fish. It's better. It's not an aquarium. It's a terrarium. They could handle water. Lizards can handle water.
They can do anything.
They like water. They like land too. They're lizards.
There are lizards that can put little bubbles of air on their heads and go underwater and breathe.
No, that was a thing. Lizards are scuba diving right now, so better than fish.
Completely naturally, using the gentle, delicate surface tension. Drop of water.
They understand the intricacies of the physics at their size.
They understand the world in a way we never will.
Yeah.
Lizards.
So go to lizard.com, go to lizardexperience.org, go to lizards.squarespace.com. Go to any website with lizard in the name, chances are you could buy a lizard on it.
Go buy a lizard.
Lizards. Great. What a fantastic ad read.
That was really beautiful.
Yeah. I think it was pretty beautiful.
It was gorgeous.
And thank you, Lizards, for sponsoring the show. That isn't an individual company, by the way. That is like a conglomerate of all the
lizards.
All the things that sell lizards. Sort of like the milk ads, the cat milk ads. Yeah. Beautiful. Do you want to do it? You can do another ad read if you want, but we don't have to. Maybe we could save one for later.
Yeah, we can do it later.
Think of something that you want to sponsor the show.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like lizards. It could be anything you want. It doesn't have to be like lizards.
Okay. Because right now, all I want to do is another ad for lizards.
I know, me too. Because here's the thing, they sponsor the show, and I love that.
Yeah. Anything that will sponsor this show, we absolutely love.
Okay, Kara, now that we're out of that ad, I know a lot of people skip that ad because they want to get straight to the good stuff. And here's the good stuff. I want to bring up this news story to you. A UK man... the United Kingdom, that is. A UK man stole $389,000 worth of cheese. The question I have for you, Kara, he a mouse?
I mean, I think it's definitely possible. But also, there are a variety of cheeses that come in different sizes, different shapes, different amounts.
He stole cheddar cheese.
Just cheddar cheese?
The expensive cheddar cheese, nice cheddar cheese.
So... volume-wise,
I think it was pretty big volume.
It's a large volume of cheddar cheese.
Yes.
But expensive.
Expensive. $389,000 worth.
That guy's got to be a mouse.
Thinking he's got to be a mouse.
That guy has to be a mouse.
And here's the thing. We're always talking about cat burglars.
Wow. That really makes you think. Maybe cats aren't the burglars here.
Maybe cats aren't the burglars. And as someone who had squirrels in my attic... I'm thinking we got to maybe look at these rodents.
Oh, yeah. And I bet this whole cat burglar thing is like false propaganda that was put out.
Oh, my God.
Because cats get a really bad rap.
They do.
Catnapping, cat burglary.
Cat's got your tongue.
Catatonic.
Catatonic. Yeah.
Cat's cradle.
Well, cat's cradle's nice.
Yeah. That's
Anyway,
on me. I'm sorry.
But also cats have some good press.
Oh, yeah.
Because people love cats. People go to war for cats. You know, they were worshipped as gods at one point.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely in Egypt.
Definitely in Egypt and probably elsewhere. And here we have people open up their homes to protect cats, yet they're devastating the native bird populations all around the world.
Yeah. And nobody's doing anything about that.
Nobody's doing anything about that, which makes me think maybe this is a cat behind this whole thing, trying to frame a mouse.
I didn't think of that
I've
before.
come a full 180 on this.
You think that there was a cat in your ceiling? You think big cat's watching?
A cat totally could have pretended to be a squirrel in my ceiling.
And then fallen through your ceiling, opened your fridge, stuffed a bunch of ceiling in your fridge.
Or pushed a man.
The cat was up there pushing a man dressed like a giant squirrel through your ceiling.
What does a cat do on a shelf with a thing? Off the shelf.
It just pushes it off.
If a cat were up in my attic, saw a man standing precariously on some ceiling joists through my kitchen, maybe.
Well, because also when a cat does that, the cat will look you in the eye. It'll be like, I'm going to do this. And you'll be like, don't you do that. And it's like, what if I did?
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. But they say it's a man. A man stole $389,000 worth of cheese, and they arrested him, and they're putting him to death for this.
Impossible.
I don't know. I made that up. So
I thought so.
Yeah. What should his punishment be?
Well, is the cheese ruined? Is it like, when you're at a restaurant and they drop food off at the wrong table, but now they can't take it back and reserve it? Or is like the cheese still fine? Is it still in its packaging, or did he soil that cheese? Is the cheese destroyed?
I think the second it goes into the hands of a thief, it's soiled. You can't be reselling stolen cheese.
But if the cheese was stolen and then returned...
And you're going to sell that and be like, yeah, this cheese was temporarily
you think that
stored improperly by a burglar?
So you think that cheese is capable of being corrupted?
Yes.
I can't argue with that. I wonder what corruption tastes like in cheese.
Rot. Poison.
Honestly, after this, you know what I'm going to do?
What?
I'm probably going to go steal some cheese and see if I can taste the difference. If I corrupt the cheese, do you think I could taste it?
Oh. I think you could, because I think you're ultimately a good person, and stealing a cheese and then eating that cheese, I don't think you could live with that guilt.
Interesting. I have to do something for a moment. Hold on.
Sure.
Don't look over here. You guys, I'm going to test this theory, and I'm going to steal cheese and feed it to Colin. And if he can taste it, then I'll believe him. Stop. Are you listening? Please don't listen.
I can't hear a thing.
Okay, just
keep whispering.
Sorry, I'm looking at my phone. I'm going to feed Colin corrupt cheese. Okay, thank you so much. Sorry, I had to take a business meeting.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. Business is business, and we got to be making money and making dough.
We got to be making money, be making dough, making pizzas.
Changing topics here.
Good.
If you ever have me over, I would love to have some cheese at some point.
We should, as friends, just have like a cheese night.
Should have a cheese night.
We don't do it enough.
Yeah. I want to get to something that you are incredibly passionate about. Something that I might have brought your attention to a while back. And that is jizz. Jizz and jazz.
Yeah. So you're talking about space jazz.
I'm talking about space jazz. So Kara wasn't familiar with this until recently. Was that the music in Star Wars that they play in the cantina canonically
is known as jizz.
Jizz music.
And that's real. That's canon.
Yeah.
And my mind was blown. I was like, what was that guy doing? He was just sitting there writing Star Wars in the 70s, and he was like, this is going to be called jizz music.
Yeah.
But people weren't jizzing back then.
They weren't. No one was jizzing back then.
Nobody was jizzing back then.
No one could jizz until the early 90s.
And then the term jizz went from being what we know as space jazz to being a colloquialism for splooge.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, like calling cum jizz wasn't a thing when George Lucas named his music jizz.
But now that it is...
He was just being lazy. He was like, well, jazz, change one letter.
Just change one letter.
It'd be jizz.
It's got to be a vowel.
But now that Disney has acquired the Star Wars universe...
They're like, we got to change
They
that.
can't have it, something called jizz in their cantinas. So
they changed the name...
Yeah.
To Jats.
They changed it to Jats.
And let me tell you what. You know what Jat sounds like?
Sounds like jizz.
Sounds like jizz.
Sounds like jizz. Sounds like a perfect word to call jizz or cum.
I don't think Disney should have nice things.
They shouldn't have nice things, and they shouldn't be allowed to change things that were canon, that were in the universe specifically on purpose. George Lucas called that music jizz. Then jizz became a slang term for cum.
There's only one thing for us to do.
That's for us.
We get to name things.
We get that, and you can't change that and take that away from us, Disney. But they can. They can legally change what the music in Star Wars is called. But
to Jats.
To Jats.
But they can't stop us from starting to call jizz Jats.
Exactly. So this is why I wanted to get this out on the podcast, and I know this is one of your big causes that you work
It's something
for.
that like means so much to me, and I'm always talking about this. I'm walking up to people at parties.
I know.
I was at someone's like engagement party, and I was like, you know what? Disney's trying to change the word jizz for his space music to Jats, and we should take it back from them.
And the thing is, you didn't even know those people. You just walked up to them.
Oh, I'll walk up to anyone.
Interrupted their whole engagement party to tell them that.
And it was during the toast.
Yeah.
And this was the bride and groom, and I was also not invited to this party. I just walked up and I said, you know what? This needs to be said.
Mm-hmm. Let's call jizz Jats. If Disney's going to change the music jizz to Jats, then we need to change the cum jizz to Jats.
To Jats. And I'm like so firm on this. Mm-hmm. And we have to tell everyone, we have to spread this around.
Spread the news, spread the good word.
Don't call cum jizz. Call it Jats from now on. Please do this. Disney can't take this from us.
Yeah.
And if they think they're better than us, oh.
And here's some sentences you can use. Oh my God, I'm Jatsing. Oh wow, so good I jats, so quick I jats.
Oh my gosh, I'm so horny that I'm jatsing in my pants now.
Oh no, who left this bowl of jats on my table?
Is that a whole bowl of jats?
Broke into my house and jatsed into a bowl and left it on my table?
And now I have to drink all of this jats by myself?
Is that the rule? I have to drink the jats that someone jatsed into a bowl? They broke into my house, came through my ceiling, jatsed into one of my kitchen bowls, left it on a table, and now I gotta drink it?
And that's the rule.
Oh my God.
You got to drink a bowl of jats if someone falls through.
What kind of country are we living in where that happens every day?
This one.
Damn.
This is the kind of country we're living in.
Anyway.
Where people are just breaking in, jatsing into bowls and forcing you to drink that jats.
So those are some common sentences you can use to filter in jats into your vocabulary.
Very common sentences that we're all using all the time.
Yes. Perfect. And that's kind of where I want to end things on this message of unity and growth and an opportunity to change the world for good and bring and make Jats come again.
Make Jats come again.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much. So here's the deal. Here's the deal with don't leave just yet. Here's the deal with this, how this podcast works. This is the fun one for free that I'm going to put on all the streaming places and YouTube at youtube.com/littlevictorianboy or at littlevictorianboy
.squarespace.com
and all the places. But if you are interested in getting a bonus content episode with Karalynn Dunton, she might do another ad read. We might talk about something else. I got some other things planned for that are very exciting. There's something on this card that you definitely definitely want to see.
You're going to want to sign up for the
You're going to want to sign up for that. That's
one.
at patreon.com/littlevictorianboy. That's patreon.com/littlevictorianboy. And you get a bonus episode with me and Kara chatting, as well as the other bonus episode from our last episode with Charlie, and all the old bonus episodes of this old podcast that I used to do. You get some free stuff.
Get some free stuff.
It's not free. You
have to pay for it, but then
it's the
once
opposite,
you pay
it's
for
the
it,
opposite of free.
yeah. So
once
when
you pay for it,
free,
it's free.
Yeah.
But it's not that much.
Yeah.
But
it's basically a steal if you're a mouse.
But do what you want. Kara, do you have anything to plug? Are you doing anything? Your accounts, your socials?
Oh, yeah. If you guys could follow me on Instagram, I desperately need this. It's Karalynn Dunton, KaralynNDunton. I really need this. I am not making any money doing
I'm not making
content.
any money in doing content either.
So it starts with the following. And again, I need this.
Kara needs this. She needs more Buster Posies. And she needs that claw machine money. She needs that claw machine money.
I have dreams.
Oh my God. So, boom. Let's play ourselves out. We're having a great one. Let's get some applause. Woo!
Yeah,
we had a wonderful day here talking with Karalynn Dunton on the Little Victorian Boy podcast. I am yelling right now.
Oh, me too.
Oh my